So now that we've covered the basics, let's talk about all the juicy stuff, the 15 steps stuff. Just kidding, I don't believe in 15 steps. Anyway, so these are all the extras that makes your routine yours. Now this is where all of your concerns that you have come into play, because anything that you add extra into your routine is going to help you treat your concerns while still maintaining healthy, balanced skin. If you have fungal acne or closed comedones, this is where you're going to treat it. If you are trying to age like fine wine, if you deal with dark spots, if you deal with eczema, rosacea, any of those issues, this is where that comes into play. Now, if you're using a heavier sunscreen or you're a makeup user like me, the first addition to your skincare routine that I would suggest is a double cleanse. If you haven't heard of it before, that is basically an extra cleansing step in your skincare routine, and that is not just washing your face twice. I prefer to use a micellar water or an MCT oil as my first step, which is going to gently break down any makeup or sunscreen that I've been wearing for the day. And then I'll go in with my gentle cleanser for my double cleanse or my cleansing step. So it's basically makeup removal, step 1, and then my cleansing, step 2, and that adequately and effectively gets rid of any makeup that I have on my face, any sunscreen that I have on my face. It's really going to break it down and clear it away from my skin, which is going to keep our pores nice and clear and not clogged. Period. Okay. The next extra that we need to talk about are actives. If you've been perusing any of the content around skincare, you've probably heard the word actives. Now, these are the ingredients that we use that really treat and target those concerns that we have: aging, congestion, sagging, acne, dark spots, those type of issues. So I'm going to take some time and go through each of the concerns that we typically see, some of the common ones at least that I see you all talk about in the comment sections of my videos, and I'm going to talk about the different actives that I would recommend or that I use to target each of these concerns. Now go ahead and list a list of timestamps down in the description box so that you can click around and go to the concern that you personally deal with, and you don't have to watch the entire video, although you will gain a lot of knowledge if you do watch the entire video, and then you can be the skincare guru in your group of friends. I'm just saying. Okay. One of the biggest concerns that I see in my comment section is concerning acne. Now, there are a couple of different ways that you can address acne, and so I don't want you, again, this is an area where you can throw the kitchen sink into your skincare routine and come out with the negative side effects like excessively dry skin, which, if that is what you're currently dealing with, please watch this video. That will help you balance treating your skin and maintaining hydration. Irritation and inflammation of your skin can quickly turn into a burn. So I want you to be very careful when you're treating acne and deciding which direction to go. If you want me to make a video specifically about the different ways to treat acne, let me know down in the comment section and I can put that together for you all. But I really just want you to be very careful. Again, retinoids or retinols are really beneficial for treating acne, especially if you have an aggressive form of acne. Retinoids are not a bad ingredient to consider, like a tretinoin or an adapalene gel. I personally use different in my own skincare routine, and I've really seen an improvement in my skin because I started using a retinoid. So I don't want you guys to be scared of that skincare ingredient. I know that it can be very daunting because you have to be very careful with the other ingredients that you include. But if you are dealing with persistent acne, I would suggest starting to look into a retinoid like tretinoin. Okay. Other than that, you really want to include like chemical exfoliants into your skincare routine. Lactic acid, glycolic acid, those are good introductory chemical exfoliants. If you're dealing with enlarged pores, you want to think about including like a niacinamide. Azelaic acid is another great ingredient, especially if you're dealing with like closed comedones. Azelaic acid is that girl. Of course, the tried and true benzoyl peroxide. She's a tried and true. can definitely cause some irritation, so you might want to consider putting benzoyl peroxide on top of your moisturizer instead of before. Y'all know that I love Acespia cream. That's my favorite benzoyl peroxide acne medication. Acespia cream is that girl, okay? Of course, like I mentioned before, if you pick up cleansers with salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide, those are 2 ingredients that you might want to consider adding into your skincare routine if you're dealing with acne. As a melanated woman, it is so easy for us to see dark spots or blemishes after dealing with acne. It's so annoying. You finally get the acne off your face, and then they decide to be disrespectful and leave behind a scar. Now, depending on your pigmentation, your scars can range from pink or red like mine to very dark scars, okay? Again, retinoids are a great ingredient to incorporate in your skincare routine if you're dealing with dark spots. And if you notice, some of these ingredients are repeating themselves, meaning if you have multiple skincare concerns, like me, where I'm trying to age like fine wine, but I got a little bit of acne and I also got the dark spots because the acne decided to leave something behind for me to remember it was here. I didn't need that. You can use this one ingredient like a retinoid and target all of these concerns. So you see, this is why you don't need a complicated skincare routine, because you can look and see what ingredients target what. And if you can find ingredients that target many or most of your issues, that is the route that I would take. So again, if you deal with dark spots and blemishes, retinoids can help. Retinoids can help. Another helpful ingredient is hydroquinone. That's one that you have to be careful with because there is a specific way to use it where you won't have the nasty side effects that sometimes come with hydroquinone use. I would suggest that you talk to a dermatologist before you start to incorporate a hydroquinone. Another great ingredient for targeting dark spots is kojic acid. Kojic acid is just that star. Actually, the Hyper Clear Brightening Serum by Hyperskin, they has kojic acid and vitamin C together, and that serum is gold for targeting dark spots. Like, it is honestly just so good. Now, the one thing with dark spots that I have to address, you are not going to find a safe way to target dark spots that's going to happen overnight. With dark spots, it really just takes sometimes months to a year before you can really see a difference in them if you're doing it safely. I would rather go safe and steady than quick and fast and irritated. You know what I'm saying? I want my skin to be healthy overall. So if it means that I'm going to take a year to address these problems, I would rather take the year and at the end I'm dealing with an overall healthy, balanced skin instead of, okay, I've got rid of this dark spot, but now I have this one because I burnt my skin. I don't want that, okay? I don't want to treat something and end up with something else because I was treating this thing and now I gotta focus on this because I messed it up trying to treat. You see, like, it's an ever-ending cycle. So I would rather you guys just go slow and steady. Slow and steady, and use ingredients that are going to help you overall. Chemical exfoliants are also going to help you here too because they help the skin turn over, which is really going to, you know, slough off that dark spot. And another key thing is moisture. Keeping your skin moisturized, keeping it hydrated is going to help those other ingredients really work their magic. It is so much harder for ingredients to really help do their thing if they're doing it on the desert. No, it's not going to work if your skin is a desert, okay? Or it's gonna be a lot more complicated if your skin is the desert. So keep your skin hydrated. Focus on your moisture content, on your hydration in your skin. And I'm not just talking about drinking water. I am saying keep your skin hydrated. help the ingredients help you? First off, it's okay to age. It is okay to age. But what we are talking about is aging rapidly or unnecessarily, okay? Because there's common factors like the sun, stress, your environmental factors, your diet that can cause you to age quicker. So the actives that you want to incorporate if one of your concerns is aging, you want to look for retinoids or retinols. I'll dive deeper into those in another video. Retinoids are probably going to be your best bet for targeting aging because they've been scientifically proven to target aging, to really see a reduction in those fine lines and wrinkles, in the firmness of your skin. You're gonna want a retinoid. And if you're not ready for a retinoid, you can start with a retinol, which has a lesser potential to irritate your skin, because retinoids can be irritating depending on what strength of retinoid that you're using. And some people are just, frankly, they're just kind of scared to jump into a retinoid. So you can start with a retinol. You can find these over the counter. Most skincare brands do include a retinol of some choice. Just do your research before you dive in. You have to be careful with what you pair them with in your skincare routine. So you always want to make sure that you are paying attention to the different ingredients to make sure you are not causing some type of chemical reaction on your face. But if you're not ready to take a step such as using a retinoid or even a retinol, you want to look for products that include niacinamide, ceramides, wonderful for plumping the skin and really giving that youthful appearance. Ceramides are key to really repairing your skin barrier, which is going to help, again, give you that youthful, fresh, hydrated appearance. Another ingredient group that you really want to look for and use if you're targeting aging concerns are antioxidants, vitamin C's, the Ordinary's EUK 134. These are great antioxidants that are going to target free radicals in our skin and help us slow down the pace of aging. Another thing you want to include into your skincare routine if you're targeting aging are peptides. These are going to help with collagen boosting, again with that firmness, elasticity of your skin, which we tend to, collagen production tends to take a deep dive, a nose dive, a plane falling out the sky dive in our 20s. So if you're like me and clearly are out of your 20s, you really want to include peptides to help build those bonds, help boost your production of collagen in your skin to keep it all nice and tight. That's what we're looking for. Tight, not sagging. These are amazing ingredients that can really help you see the difference in these concerns that you have. But you also need to know and recognize when your skin is saying, hell no, girl, this ain't it. You have to know what that looks like. That tends to come up in the form of irritation and inflammation. If your skin is reacting where it's red, splotchy, you're getting rash-like bumps, it's itchy, it feels dry and really tight. These are the things that you want to look for to know this ain't it. My skin is saying no. And you have to listen and stop, because if you continue, then you can really lead into that chemical burn spot, okay? Or just a worsening of your skin barrier. And that is going to create a whole other set of problems. We're working smarter, not harder here. So I want you to pay attention to how your skin is reacting when you're applying these actives. Again, this is another area why you don't want to just throw the kitchen sink or start a bunch of new things at one time, because then you can't pinpoint exactly what it is. So for instance, for me, when I first started getting into skincare, I used to use The Ordinary everything. And I did exactly what I'm telling y'all not to do. I threw a bunch of Ordinary products together all at one time. And so when I started to experience that rash on the lower half of my face, I couldn't pinpoint what was happening, and I was taking out a bunch of stuff. But because niacinamide is like a gold star in the skincare world. I just knew it couldn't be niacinamide. Like, it could not be the niacinamide. Like, I've never heard people have an issue with that ingredient. And guess what it was? The niacinamide in zinc. I don't know what it is about that formula, but my skin just does not like it. I can use the Naturium's niacinamide. I can use Paula's Choice niacinamide booster. I cannot use the Ordinary's. No idea why, but it took me so long to figure out that was the product that was causing that issue, because I had so many new things all at one time. So that is why I want you guys to start slow, introduce things one at a time. One at a time. Give your skin a week or two to adjust, see how it does, and then introduce something new. Treat it as if you are starting to feed a baby food. When you're starting to introduce food to a baby and you introduce one thing every 2 to 3 weeks just to make sure they don't have an allergy to it, that is what you want to do with your skin, okay? Start slow, introduce them one at a time, and then pay attention to how your skin reacts. How does your face feel? Does it feel hot? Does it feel itchy? Are you seeing bumps? Are you seeing redness? Pay attention and then move slow from there. Another thing with actives I mentioned before, you want to pay attention to the different ingredients that you are layering on top of each other, because some things just don't go together. They don't go together, and if you do mix them together, they can either cancel them out, which would be the better thing to happen. Then option B, cause a chemical reaction on your face and burn your skin. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. So before you introduce another product into your skincare routine, do your research to make sure that those ingredients work well together and will not cause any problems. For instance, you don't want to use a retinoid and a vitamin C on top of each other. You also don't want to do a retinoid and chemical exfoliant on top of each other. You don't do that either. You talking about chemical burns? Chemical burns, okay? So just make sure that you're doing your research. Again, the focus is overall skin health, and it takes a little bit of research to know what ingredients work well, what products work well on top of each other, and when to split things up between your morning and your night routine. For instance, for me, I like to use my antioxidants in the morning because they really help fight free radicals that we get from UV rays. They're going to help your sunscreen be more efficient or more effective, and they really help with dark spots. So I like to use my antioxidants in the morning, and then at nighttime is when I would do any kind of exfoliating, or that is where I'm going to put my retinoid or my retinol. Those are things that you really have to think of when you're building your skincare routine. And then of course, since we're talking about layering the right ingredients together, you also have to put your skincare routine in the correct order. I want you to think of, in terms of your different serums or the different skincare products in your routine, you want to go from the lightest weight product to the heaviest weight product, because if you put your thick creamy moisturizer on and then you put on your water-based serum, it is so much harder for that water-based serum to penetrate through the moisturizer and then into your skin and down deep into those skin cells. But if you do it the opposite way, you put your water-based serum on first, then that serum can really get into your skin, can really penetrate and target and do what it's supposed to do. And then you put that heavyweight moisturizer on top of it, which is just going to seal all that goodness in. If you need a reminder of all of the steps and how you order or layer these products on top of each other, I'll link some resources down in the description box. They're not mine, they're just resources that I found off of the internet that I personally love, that you can use as a reminder to know in which order you put your skincare routine together. I hope that this has been helpful. Definitely take some time to like this video if you haven't liked it already. Subscribe if you haven't already, sis, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.